Okay, so yesterday we finished up on this slide talking about the difference between Ellis Island, where Europeans immigrants went through the process fairly quickly, 2 to 5 hours, whereas the Asian immigrants coming in at Angel Bay took weeks. And the object of Ellis Island was to process Europeans quickly through. And the objective at Angel Bay was to keep Asians out. So now today we're going to talk about what happens once those immigrants actually now set foot on American soil. And so we're going to talk about the opportunities and challenges. So once they get in America, immigrants had to find a home and a place to work. That's obvious. Those are the two most important essentials that they would need to look for. They have to have a place to live, obviously, and then they have to have a place to work. They had to learn English, which is a difficult language to learn, has lots of weird rules, and it's a mix-up of all different types of other languages, new customs, and I'm not sure, again, how many of you have traveled to other places, but customs are sometimes really difficult to get wrap your head around. As I said, most of them are poor, and so they don't really have an opportunity to move out of the places where they arrive. So many of them stay in New York City, and they will take jobs in factories. And they're going to live in these ethnic neighborhoods called ghettos. And please don't think of these as like what modern times call ghettos. These are just ethnic neighborhoods. And so, in a sense, what they did was just recreate their own living conditions, their own ethnic neighborhoods in the United States. So they surrounded themselves with people who were like them, which is why, again, if you've been to New York City, there are places like Little Italy, Chinatown. Those places exist because of these ethnic neighborhoods. Large cities such as New York and Chicago had a huge, huge immigrant population by 1890. And so immigrants had to have some help. And so what happens is these places called settlement houses will spring up all throughout New York City and Chicago. And if we had something that kind of resembled these things today, they would kind of be like Boys and Girls Club, a place where you could go to learn different programs. And these settlement houses were dealt with the idea of Americanization. So teaching these immigrants how to learn English, how to dress like we do in America, the diet, obviously many of them aren't able to find the same foods. And in other words, helping them to become more American so they can fit in quicker and easier. Immigrants form fraternal associations based on ethnicity or religious identity, which then also helps with social services and financial assistance. If you remember yesterday, I told you that Terre Haute had a very large Hungarian population, and they also have a very large German organization, which puts on the Strassenfest, and Hungarians they have a Hungarian hall. So these things helped immigrants find their way, connect with other people like them, but also help them become more American. Lastly, many believe that the American society was this melting pot where white people of different nationalities blended to create a single culture. And please note the word white, right? We're still talking about Europeans, and we're still at a point where we're willing to accept these group of people that look like us as long as they fit in. This obviously is going to exclude Asian immigrants who will become the targets of social and legal discrimination, horrific social and legal discrimination. Despite the hopes of settlement workers, immigrants do hold on to their traditions, and they hold tight onto those traditions. It's something that connects them back to their home. It's something that connects them to their heritage, and even in a place where they wanted to be, keeps them their feet firm in their culture and their heritage. They're going to establish fraternal lodges, schools, religious institutions. But what happens often, as always, as we talked about yesterday, their immigrants' children become much more Americanized and often lose most all of their connection with their heritage, their language, especially. All right, so we're going to stop there today. Tomorrow we'll talk about in class about hostility and look at a different assignment with that. Today you've got just a quick reading on what happens to immigrants once they get to America. So far we've read, and you did readings on what Ellis Island, what that process looked like. Now we're going to look at what happens to immigrants once they hit America. And I think they're Italian. There are 2 Italian men trying to find work as they first come into the United States. So, all right. Hope you have a great Wednesday. Please don't forget to do your assignment. It is due today. It's not that hard. It's a reading. You should be able to get it done fairly quickly. It's due today by 11:59. Email me if you have any questions, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye. Have a great day.